Hey class, how you doing today? We're going to be doing this by video for today. I won't be available tonight for class, so I'll make this video and send it out to you. First thing on the agenda here, week 4, your assignment for the English 120 class. After reading Bentley's essay Beyond the Nuclear Family, answer questions 1 through 4, and then questions to start you thinking, and then the answers are not written in essay form. 1 to 2 paragraphs will be fine. Make sure you give well thought out answers to the questions. Okay, and then number 2 is go to the section titled Journal Prompts. Follow the directions for number 1. Okay, so that's going to be a journal prompt. It's going to be a little bit more than a paragraph. You're writing a journal page. Just follow the prompt. It'll tell you exactly what to do. Now, each assignment, sometimes you can do the journal prompts, sometimes you can do the suggestions for writing. All right, I've looked at all of them, and there's some that I want you to do that are suggested writings, and some are journal prompts. So make sure you follow the directions. On the first one, some of you did just did answer them 1 through 5. It's supposed to be 1 through 4, and then the second section was number 1. Okay, so make sure you follow the directions clearly. Okay, separate them on your sheet. The first 4 went to the first section, and then the last one was for the number 1 for the suggested writing. This one, a little bit different. The number 2 on the instructions is for journal prompt, so make sure you do journal prompt number 1 and you label it journal prompt number 1. Okay, so make sure you follow the directions. For that one, for Bentley's essay, and for the other one, the first one, there's still some of you who haven't done either one of them. Okay, you need to get these done, folks. These are 50 points apiece, and you can't pass one class without passing the other, because English 120 is connected to English 1A. So you need to get that in. Don't wait till the last 2 weeks of class or last week of class and say, okay, I'm going to try and turn in all my assignments. That's not going to work. Okay, you have due dates for a reason. If you try and do that, I will not accept them. Okay, on a week-by-week basis, if there's an issue and you need some time to do an assignment, then that's fine. But if it happens every single week, then something's wrong and it's going to stop. Okay? I opened up everything from week 1 that you guys were behind on, and I gave you until last Friday to do it. Some of you did it, which was great. Some of you didn't. Some of you didn't even respond to saying why you couldn't get it done. Just to let you know, if you keep not turning in your assignments, I'm not going to accept them at the end of the semester. So if you have any catching up to do, let me know. We'll work something out. Okay? So you guys stay on track. All right. I've had a couple of emails from a couple of you that needed an extra day or 2. I was okay with that. But if you just don't turn it in and then you think I'm going to accept it at the end of the semester, I'm not. Okay? I know a lot of you have just come from high school. That may have been okay there. And I know it happens there because my wife works at a high school and she tells me that happens. But it doesn't happen here at college. So get your stuff turned in on time. Okay, so this week, for week 5, you have, I'm talking about the 120 class right now, you guys. This week you have Michael Cobb. Okay, now Michael Cobb is, I believe he's the gentleman that, no, it's about family, okay. For his, you're going to, after reading Cobb's essay, The Marriage Imperative, answer questions 1 through 5 in the section titled Questions to Start You Thinking. You can do all 5. The answers are not written in essay form. 1 to 2 paragraphs will be fine. Make sure you give well thought out answers to the questions. Okay? Don't just give me 2 sentences. That's not going to work. A well thought out paragraph. A paragraph has anywhere from 5 to 7 sentences. So anything less is not a paragraph. Okay? Remember that. Number 2, go to the section titled Suggestions for Writing. Follow the directions for number 2. So on your paper, you're going to write 1 through 5 for your first one, and then for the second one, you're going to hit Suggestions for Writing, and then you put number 2, and then you follow that prompt. That one is going to require more than just a couple of paragraphs. Sometimes one paragraph will be fine. Sometimes it's going to ask you to write a little bit more. Follow the directions. Okay? All right, so that's week 5. This is due Sunday, folks. This one's due Sunday. And if you haven't done the other 2, they need to be in by Sunday also. So some of you have some catch-up work to do. All right. So I'm going to say about that. I don't want to talk about late work anymore. Okay, so let's go over to English 1A part. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so last week was, I'm almost done grading your stuff, folks, so I should get that up within the next day or 2. The work you turn in is fine. It's the work that you're not turning in that's going to hurt you guys. Okay, so recalling experience, you guys did that. Some of you still haven't turned that in either, so I would get on the ball and get that in. You're going to get to a point in the semester where it's going to be too late to catch up. And I'll let you know. Well, it's in the overview for the class. It tells you what date it is. It's in November. So it'd be kind of sad if you go 3/4 of the semester and then you get dropped because you didn't do your work. So get that stuff in, okay? And there's still some of you who haven't turned in the first 2 essays, the recalling the experience and observing the scene. Get those in. All right. So observing the scene, you're supposed to find something to talk about that you remember, or go sit somewhere and observe something for an hour. I didn't get any calls about anybody not being able to do it. I had a couple of calls or emails saying that a couple of you needed an extra day or 2. Again, I'm fine with that. It's those of you who don't get a hold of me. Okay. Also, if you're having an issue every single week, then there is a problem. There's 1 or 2 of you that I know there's an ongoing thing. That's okay, because you've talked to me about it, and I know it's an issue with you. So, and those 2 people are keeping me updated on everything, so that's fine. I'll accept that. But you know, that's okay, because those are things that can't be controlled. But other things that can be controlled, and you're still making an issue, then that's not gonna work. Okay, so if you're having a real issue, let me know and we'll work something out. I can't keep leaving these things open, because when the dean looks at my Zoom page, he's going to ask, or my campus page, why are you reopening everything all the time? Okay, so make sure you get your stuff done. And I'm here if you need help. I can get you some help if you need help. That's not a problem. I'll send you to the early alert program, and they'll get a hold of you, and they'll make sure you get your work in on time. If that's what you need, then I'll do that. But we're at the point where you should be able to get these in now. It's only a 3rd essay, so get these in. So observing the scene. I've given you guys videos on this. I think there was only 1 video for this one, but that was the only good one that there was. So just make sure you get this one done. Okay, module 5, which is the week we're in right now. Compare and contrast. Comparing and contrasting is what you do when you're looking at two different things. If you're going to buy a car, look at two different cars that you like and compare the similarities and the differences and see which one is better for you. You do that with almost everything you buy. If you're buying a cell phone, unless you're stuck on an Apple or stuck on a regular phone, you're not going to pay too much attention to it. But you might want to compare and contrast the different types of Apple phones, or the different types of Android phones, if you're going to go that route. But you're always comparing things before you buy them. Now, for this one, you're going to read chapter 7. Okay, and chapter 7 tells you all about comparing and contrasting. Now, I put a couple of videos on here that I want you guys to watch. Okay, and it's really important that you watch these videos, because the second video, it talks about the point by point and the block method on doing your compare and contrast essays. Now, there's two ways to do the compare and contrast. One's a point by point, and the other is a block method. This video here, the second one, it takes you step by step on how to do both of them. For some of you, the point by point might be easier. For some of you, the block method will be easier. So it's going to talk about it in the chapter. It's going to talk about it in this video, and it's going to talk about it in the first video. Okay, and in the third video, I don't remember if this one talks about the block or point by point. They might just mention it, but the first two videos get into it, and the chapter gets into it. And let's see, there's two supplemental readings here that I got for you guys. Click here for great information on how to write a compare and contrast essay. So that's this one right here. This one tells you about the compare and contrast, tells you about the structure, and it takes you to the block method and the point by point. Okay, it's going to go into detail for both of them. It goes through the structure words, the compare and contrast structure words, and it gives you examples of how to use them. Gives you the criteria for the compare and contrast, and it even gives you an example essay. Okay, so folks, I'm giving you everything here except writing it for you. So you're getting everything here for it. Now there's one more piece I want you to look at. Compare and contrast essay. This one, another writing, talks to you about what a compare and contrast essay is. It might cut it off a little bit on this recording, but that's okay. There it is right there. It tells you what the compare and contrast essay is. It goes by the steps. Choose your subject. It gives you some examples of subjects that you might want to talk about. Tells you about some brainstorming exercises to do to see what you can come up with. They talk about modernism and postmodernism. Here's another thing here that you might want to look at. I don't know how many of you know what a Venn diagram is, but a Venn diagram is you have two separate things here. You talk about the differences here, and then the way they're alike is in the center here. Okay, so you can do that when you're comparing and contrasting. Look at the differences here and here, and then look where they're the same. That'll be the center, and then you can write your paper from there. Venn diagrams are really good when you're doing this type of essay, and it's taking you step by step on how to do it. And you guys should be writing outlines for every essay that you write, so that you can stay in a sequential order. At some point, I'm going to be asking you for outlines when you turn in your essays. So get in the habit of writing your outlines. Okay. So there's not that much for this week. I think you have a. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, your discussion. Um, what are some of the things that you compare and contrast? Okay, these are the things you're gonna talk about in this discussion forum. What are some of the things you compare and contrast? Why would you compare and contrast things? Why do you do it? Okay. In this discussion, you'll be talking about comparing and contrasting. In your initial post, talk about at least one experience where you had to compare and contrast. And then answer the question, why would you compare and contrast things? The point of this discussion is to tap into your memory banks for reasons you would have to compare and contrast, and for times you have had to do the same. Okay, real simple this week. Guidelines for replying to your classmates. Okay, where it says you must have your initial post done by Wednesday night. Try to. If not, that's okay. Then you have until Sunday night to respond to at least one of your classmates' posts. Okay? You only have to respond to one. So if you want to wait till the weekend to do them all, that's fine. But you have to have at least respond to one classmate. If you respond to 2 or 3, that's fine. The purpose of these discussion boards is for you guys to get into discussions. So try not to do just the minimum. Get out there and talk to people. Talk to people about what you guys are doing. And you might get some ideas from them. They might get some ideas from you. So go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to grade you on, I don't know if I put a rubric on this one. Yeah. You're going to get 3 points if you answer the 2 questions. And you're going to get the 2 points here if you reply to, well, I'm saying 2 classmates, but if you put your initial post and at least talk to 1 classmate. If you don't do any, then I'm sorry. If your responses are just, well, I liked what you said, then you'll only get a point. Okay. Your responses have to have some depth to them. Tell the person why you enjoyed their text or enjoyed their post. What was it about their compare and contrast items that you found interesting? Okay, don't just say, I liked your post, it was a good one. No, get into details. Okay, and if you don't do any of them, then you'll just get 0. Okay, these are easy points for you guys, so they add up at the end of the semester. Okay, so your essay. Excuse me. When you get to your essay, let's see here. It's not going to let me do it. This one. Now we're already in week 5. That's quick. When you get to your essay, this is essay number 3. This is your 3rd essay. So on your sheet of paper, when you turn in your essay, make sure you put essay number 3, compare and contrast. Okay. Let's see here. Instructions. For this assignment, you'll be writing a compare and contrast essay. For this essay, you will be comparing and contrasting. The writing prompt for this essay is in the Bedford Guide for College Writers. Compare and contrast. This is on page 311. Okay, so this is on page 311. Let's go to page 311. Let me show you exactly what the prompt is. That way you guys will be able to get it done. It's almost there. page 311. I'm sorry, go up here. Okay, here's your assignment. Oops, sorry. Okay, this is your prompt. Write a paper in which you compare and contrast two items to enlighten readers about both subjects. The specific points of similarity and difference will be important, but you will go beyond them to draw a conclusion from your analysis. This conclusion, your thesis, needs to be more than point A is different from point B, or I prefer subject B to subject A. You will need to explain why you have chosen your conclusion. You will also need to provide specific supporting evidence to explain your position and to convince your readers of its soundness. I'm your reader. You may choose two people, two kinds of people, two places, two objects, two activities, or two ideas. Be sure to choose two you care about. You might write an impartial paper that distinctly portrays both subjects, or you might show why you favor one over the other. Okay, so it's really simple. Let me show you something in the chapter that might help you a bit. There's essays in every chapter. This one, Jacob Griffin he's a student. He's comparing the Karate Kid versus Kung Fu Panda, and which one should be the Olympics. Okay, so he's not comparing the cartoons per se or the movie. He's comparing and contrasting karate to kung fu, and he explains the differences, and then he explains why one should be in the Olympics and not the other. Okay, so that's one of them. Make sure you read these essays because they will help you, and these are very clear in their compare and contrast. The next essay is Cesar Vargas, How First and Second Generation Hispanics Can Help Each Other. Now he's going to compare and contrast the experiences between first and second generation Hispanics. Okay, so that's another one that can help you. And there was only two in this one. Okay. Well, here's what I was looking for you guys. Okay. I don't see it. It might be later in the chapter, but there's this one reading that's talking about a student who's comparing his hometown to his where he's living while he's going to college. How in his hometown he can rent a huge apartment for less than what he's paying in the big city for a small little apartment that he compares to a bathroom. So I'm not sure if it's in this chapter. It might be in the older version of the book. But anyway, go through these stories and then look at the exercises that are in the chapters. And here, I'll show you some of them. At the end of each chapter, or each essay that's in here, there's questions. In what specific ways does Griffin claim that karate and kung fu are similar? In what ways are these two different? Do the similarities outweigh the differences? Okay, that's stuff that you should be looking at. When I ask you to go through the chapter and work on some of the exercises, this is what I mean. Exercises like 1, 2, and 3, they force you to go back into the essay and look for the differences and similarities. Like I said, these essays are written specifically about compare and contrast, and you should be able to explain all that. Okay. Let's see, there should be other exercises in here. Again, there's your essay. This talks a little bit more about it. Generating ideas. Again, you're going to get some of this in the videos that I got for you also, how to generate ideas. Limit your scope. If you want to compare Japanese literature to American literature in 750 words, you won't be able to do that. There's too much. So this is giving you really good examples of what to do. Let's see. Here, they're making a compare and contrast list. Category, and then subject A and B. Okay? And this will explain everything to you. How to do that. Planning, drafting, developing. Writing your outline, stating the purpose in a thesis. 2 subjects, 2 teaching styles in required biology courses to show why one style is better, and in the working thesis, although students learn a lot in both of the required introductory biology courses, one class teaches information and the other teaches how to be a good learner. Okay? So these are giving you examples of how to put this thing together. And again, if you have any problems with any of it, get a hold of me. Okay, select a pattern to help your audience. Besides understanding your purpose and thesis, readers also need to follow your supporting evidence. The clusters of details that reveal the nature of each subject you consider. They're likely to expect you to follow one of 2 ways to organize a compare and contrast essay. Both patterns present the same information, but each has its own advantages and disadvantages. Here's what we were talking about earlier. Opposing pattern subject by subject, alternating pattern point by point. This is the block, this is the point by point. Okay? This is your block over here, which is opposing pattern subject by subject. This is your point by point, what I was telling you earlier. Again, so it's going to explain this more in the video and more in the alternative readings that I gave you. So you're going to get to know this part of it real good. And again, it explains it a little bit here too. It tells you exactly how to do it. And it's using one of the readings, the karate and kung fu reading, to show you how to put this. And look what they're using, folks. An outline. Okay? That's how you outline your paper. And then it makes it easier to read it. To write it. The only thing they didn't put is a conclusion and an introduction. But they put in the body paragraphs. So, perfect thing for you guys to use. Let's see what else here. Revise and edit. Always revise and edit your paper before you turn them in. Check for spelling errors, grammar. You guys just went through the grammar section. Go to Purdue OWL and look for some sections you might need to look at. Okay, let's see what else is here. Look at how they write this. Look at how they write their paper here. Vary your wording. Make sure as you go over your draft that you have escaped the monotonous drone. A does this, B does that. A has these advantages, B has those advantages. You want to talk about them. Don't just state them. You want to talk about them. Okay, then do your checklist. Before you turn it in, does your introduction present your topic and main point clearly? Is it interesting enough to make the reader want to read the whole essay? I don't have a choice. I have to read it all. But I need to let you know if it was good or not. Okay, so follow everything that it tells you. Do your checklist. And these are some little reflection exercises. That's not a big deal. These are additional writing assignments if you want to do other things to help yourself. Please, I'm not going to ask for you guys to turn these in, but like I said, Here's a good thing here's a good exercise for you guys. This is a classroom. Pupils attend class in at a Quranic school in Basel, Nigeria. Okay, that's a school. They're going to school right here. A student poses a question during math class in Wellsville, New York. Education. Okay, they're both classrooms. If you don't understand compare and contrast, look at these two pictures. How are they similar? How are they different? If you can do that, you're comparing and contrasting. Okay, best thing to do is put these two pictures side by side. Look at the similarities and the differences. Are they both inside? Are they both outside? Are all the students sitting on a chair? Is there a whiteboard in the classroom? Is there technology in both classrooms? Is there 4 walls in the classrooms? Are there computers in both classrooms? Is there actually a teacher in both classrooms? Look at the comparisons and the differences, okay? There's your compare and contrast, folks. Make sure you work through it and let me know if you need any help. I will be around today. This is I won't be around during the time we have our class tonight, which is why I'm doing this video. I might do more videos throughout the semester just to point out some certain things that I want you guys to go through. But if I ever can't have class for a day, I'll also put a video out for you guys. Okay, so make sure you review this video. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. We're not having class tonight. You're going to be going over this video as if we're in class. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. I am going to have office hours tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If I don't get people, I'll send you an email. I'll let you know that I'm going offline. But if you do need to get a hold of me for anything, get a hold of me. Okay? Alright, that's it for now. I will wait to hear from you guys. I'm going to continue grading your papers, get them all back to you guys. And you guys have a good day, have a good week. Let's see, what else? Oh, the debate. See if you guys can watch the debate. And we'll talk about it in our next class. Alright, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Get your work done. Some of you guys have some catch up to do. Get that work done. I'm going to open up the date so you can get that stuff done, okay? Alright, get a hold of me if you need to. Have a good week. Have a good day. I'm hoping to hear from you guys. Bye.